Greetings and salutations, Second Star right back with more Raid, Shadow, Legends, and it is double summons event for Ancient Shards weekend, which is something I always enjoy. I know for the past 2 years or so, I've been waxing lyrical about my enjoyment of this particular event. I like it because Ancient Shards are accessible to so many different people, and it's just a really good way. The double summons event is a good way to get good champions, fill out your roster. Maybe not so much for me because I already have so many champions, but in general, Ancient Shards are great. They're just accessible. The clan boss drops. They show up in the market. You can get them in occasionally in dungeon drops. They kind of show up, and to have a double summons event is always a good thing for people to fill out their rosters. Maybe not people with more advanced accounts like myself, which probably going for more targeted stuff, but I just like the aspect of seeing all this show up, right? And plus there's a champion chase event, right? And I think I need to get a certain amount of points to get my shards. That's artifact enhancement. That's not what I want. Maybe it's a tournament. Let's see, shall we? Champion chase tournament. Okay, so I need 2,500 on the high side, but at least 1,150. Oh, that's 10 shards. Okay, and I have 60 shards, so I'm in good shape for the event. But what I really want to do is just there's a bunch of new champions out there that I do not possess yet, and that I would like to. So let's see what happens, shall we? Let's do a 10 poll. Let's get this party started. Okay, Master Fearmonger is a newer champion, but I already have that one, Soaring Thug. I've talked about a lot, which I really enjoy that champion. And Rector Drath, which I do not have and I did want, is fantastic. Let's take a look at her first, because that's the one I'm most interested in at the moment. Rector Drath, she looks like a very pissed off librarian, but you know what, that's okay. I will take that because I hear that she has a good skill set. Okay, attacks the enemy with a 35% chance of placing a decreased attack for 2 turns. Decreased attack is awesome on an A1, and she actually get that 35% chance up to 50% chance of a decreased attack on an A1 is pretty nice. That's kind of like a Necro Hunter. It has a similar skill. Okay. Heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max H points. That's always good. It's always good to have it on the healer's hit point pool based, except instead of the person you're healing, because if they're an attacker and they have a small hit point pool, then it doesn't do so good. But if it's based on them, you can stack hit points and it's going to be awesome. After healing, places a perfect veil for 2 turns on all allies with full hit points. Places a 15% continuous heal for 1 turn instead on allies with less than 100 points. Well, that's nice. It's very considerate. Thank you, Rector Drath. In spirit form is her A3. 6 turn cooldown, down to 4 turns after you book it. Revives a single ally with 60% hit points and fills their turn meter by 60%. And places perfect veil on them for 3 turns, which also has the benefit of minimizing some damage. Takes about 15% off the top, I think. Okay, that's good. And then you can ascend a skill, a passive, with 3 levels of ascension. Whenever an ally under a veil or perfect veil buff gets a turn, heals them by 10% of the max hit points. Also increases the resistance of allies under veil or perfect veil buffs by 50. Okay, so Rector Drath is a really good champion. He even has a resist Doom Tower battle by 55. Okay, so that's awesome. Rector Drath is a really, really good champion. I am pleased. I am pleased. Even if I might not want to return a late book to her. Okay, next, Soaring Thug. I talk about Soaring Thug a lot. I'm a big fan. Really good buff stealer. And Master Fearmonger, despite looking like the humongous whatever from Road Warrior, does some pretty cool stuff too. Attacks enemy twice. Each hit decreases the target's turn meter by 7.5% if the target's under a fear or a true fear debuff. So you might want to have him on a team with other people that put in fear. I think having a fear team he would be really, really benefit from. And his A2 is one that places the fear, and also can place a decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And a 75% chance of playing a true fear on 2 enemies for 1 turn if the attack kills an enemy. 1 true fear debuff will be placed on the enemy with the lowest turn meter, while 1 will be placed on the enemy with the highest turn meter. Okay, well that's nice. And then a well-used axe is his A3, which has a weird plus 5% damage, then plus 10% damage, then a cooldown. and 3 books. So we can get down to 4 turns. Ignores 35% of the target's defense if the target is under a fear or true fear debuff, and when you ascend it, oh my gosh, this guy does so many weird stuff. 30% increased speed buff for 2 turns, a revive on death buff for 2 turns, and a block buff for 1 turn on this champion if the attack kills an enemy. So it's pretty cool. He's a good champion. He also has a turn meter passive. Whenever an enemy's hit point drops below 20%, it fills his turn meter by 50%. That's on a 6 turn to 4 turn cooldown. He's a cool champion. I have one that he's sitting there at 5 stars waiting to be buffed, but I don't know where I'm going to put him yet. I'm very interested in making a fear team, but a lot of my fear champions are just sitting at 5 stars, so I haven't really explored that yet. Okay, well, I talked for a lot about just 2 champions, and Lich is also a good defensive champion, but we'll just move on because he's old. All right, next 10. Oh, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we got a lot of blue. Oh, an epic Lufia, who is awesome. I'm a huge fan of Lufia. I did a video of her spotlighting her awesomeness, and the best thing I like about her is her aura. Actually increased crit rate in dungeons by 33%, which is cool. She's an excellent dungeon lead, one of my favorites. Can really bring out the best in champions if you haven't built their crit rate, and you had them beefier in other areas. She can make up for that, and it's awesome. All right, another 10. Let's go. All right, Chani is fantastic. Oh, I don't have a Farrakhan the Fat either. This is happy day for 2nd star, right? He's good, really good champion. Okay, Zargala. That sounds better, right? Zargala, excellent champion. Chani, who I just did a video on a couple weeks ago, also fantastic champion. Let's look at her again real quick. She has a poison sensitivity on her A1. She doesn't actually apply poisons herself, so either put her on a team with people who do poison or stick her in a toxic set. She has an HP burn on her A2, along with an increased accuracy buff and an increased attack buff, and then it can increase durations of debuffs on enemies on an AoE by a turn, and that's just awesome. And accuracy in all battles by 40. So she is super versatile, hits like a truck, and does increased sensitivity to poison and an HP burn. She just covers a lot of bases. Good champion. Farrakhan the Fat. Okay, you know, nice tats, and he has a brand. That's pretty sweet. Okay, I always like the barbarian designs. They're pretty cool. Sizzling Strike attacks an enemy with a 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff for 2 turns. That is nice. Another 50% chance in A1, just like Rector Draft. Attacks an enemy, 75% chance of placing HP burn and 2 poison debuffs for 2 turns. Oh, that's awesome. So you can see the boss fight utility on his A2. That's pretty sweet. And you can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown too. Also really good. That is an excellent skill. 30% increased crit rate and a 30% increased crit damage buff on allies except this champion for 3 turns. Then all allies except this champion will attack. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Excellent ally attack on his A3. Nice, especially with the increased crit rate and crit damage. That's really cool. And his ascended skill is a passive. Body block deflects 20% of all incoming damage this champion receives onto all allies. The damage will be spread equally across all allies. It's like, sorry guys, but you know, I'm letting you guys attack, so why don't you guys take some damage for me? All right, that's cool. It's all right. He's still a good champion. I'm impressed with Farrakhan the Fat. Okay, so let's do another. I think this makes 40, right? So let's see what happens here. Okay, Captain Camilla, really good champion. Old Hermit Jorg, another champion I don't have. Oh, another champion I don't have. Nice. Okay, so the RN Jesus is really helping me out here. A lot of times I do these and I just get old champions and I'm like, oh, look at all the food I'm getting. You know, that's nice. But I'm actually getting stuff to learn and explore and talk about, because I have kind of like rather than investigating all the new champions. I'm just gonna wait till I get them and I'll look at them then. Kind of like a Christmas morning type feeling. So Old Hermit Jorg. Let's see what this chimpanzee looking dude does. Okay, so his Putrid Brazier attacks an enemy, the 30% chance of placing an HP burn for 2 turns. Oh, that's cool. So a low chance of HP burn. Actually, you can get up to 40%. HP burn on an A1 is pretty cool. 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, and fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%. So that's kind of cool. We got a 20% turn meter fill plus an increased attack. And then this is his A3 unlocks his Ascension 3, 7 turn cooldown, so I guess that's 5 turns if you book it. Revives 2 random allies with 60% hit points, then fills their turn meters by 40% and places a perfect veil buff on them for 2 turns. So he's actually very similar to Rector Drath in this regard. She has a similar revive skill. Okay, moving on. We have Gorlos Hellmaw, who looks very Stranger Thingsy. He's got teeth everywhere, man. This guy, do not want to see him visit a dentist. That'd be an overwhelming experience for said physician. Okay, so his A1 attacks enemy hungry shafts. Because of all the teeth, right? Attacks an enemy twice. Each hit fills the champion's turn meter by 10% if the target is under decreased defense, HP burn, or decreased accuracy debuff. Okay, so it's contingent. So he attacks twice, but it doing the turn meter thing is contingent on having one of these debuffs. So if you don't have those debuffs, I wonder if that hits hard. Okay, A2, 4 turn cooldown, and get down to a 3 turn cooldown, but it's an AoE with a 75% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. And it's the big version, so that's good. Actually, you can get that 75% chance up to 100% chance. So 100% chance to put the big defense down with this A2 on a 3 turn cooldown when it's fully booked. That's not bad. Okay, attacks an enemy, 75% chance of placing an HP burn, and a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 3 turns. Fills the champion's turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. So it puts a 3-turn HP burn debuff. That's actually pretty good. So, and that is on a 4-turn cooldown. Decrease accuracy. Does this one have decrease defense? Okay, so both of his skills contribute to his A1. So I guess that's not so bad. Unlocks Ascension level 3 is Doom Tower Battle attack by 30%. Okay. Alright, Gorlos. That's not bad. Not bad at all, sir. Alright, so I have 10 left. Right? Let me go back and look. So 10. Alright, so let's do one at a time. Just to, milk it just for that little bit more. And an epic straight off the bat, and it is Warden, who's a Reflect Damage champion, right? Yeah. Weaken on his A1, decrease attack and increase defense on his A2, and then attacks all enemies and then reflect damage on all allies for 2 turns. And actually, it's really interesting that you can get down to a 3-turn cooldown. I have him at 50, and I was gonna build him because I wanted to see how good his reflect damage was, and then I just lost interest. So he's just kind of sitting out there. I think he's even ascended, but I never finished building him. All right, moving on. Okay, and we have Rocktooth. Thank you very much. Really good champion if you get him super early. And Flailer. Okay, thank you. You're looking good in your finery, Mr. Flailer. What do we have next? We have Ironclad, who is awesome. I already drew one earlier, but he's really, really good champion with a very, very mean passive. His overheal inflicts damage to all champions, and if he's in a set, the set effect will also be applied. So put him in stun, and you have damage and stun dealing on every damage on every overheal, which is pretty cool. Once per turn. And I have a video on him if you want to check that out too. Okay, and Deja Vu. I feel like we just saw this guy moments ago. Alright, and we have Tree Feller, looking very olive today. Nice. Next we have more blue, and it is Siege Breaker, I think he has a good crit strike ability, which is kind of neat, right? Yeah, increased crit rate on a rare. And come on, we're running out of time to get gold, guys. I would like to see that. Oh, and another Tree Feller. So we have 2 Rock Tooths and 2 Tree Fellers in this set of 10. Come on, let's see something, guys. Let's see something. All right, Hyria, a really good early clan boss champion when you're first starting out. And one more, guys. Is it going to be a legendary? I don't feel like it is. I don't have a good feeling about it. But that's okay. Maybe it'll be something interesting. It is not. It is blue, and it is Temptress, who pairs well with Seducer and has a really nice outfit. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thank you, Raid Plarium. Making my day. All right, so that is it for me. Let's see how we're doing on the tournament. No, go away. Stop trying to sell me stuff. All right, let's see here. Champion Chase tournament. All right, look at that, and we're all done. All right, got my shards and my legendary book. I wish they'd throw some epic. Oh, then I did get an epic book. I'm actually worse off on epic books than I am on legendary books. Another thing that I've complained about incessantly on this channel. So sorry to repeat myself, but you know how it is. Guys, thank you for coming on this journey with me. I appreciate it. Please throw me a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And comment down below how your summons event weekend went, because I'm always interested in hearing how everyone else does. So thank you, and until next time, au revoir, and enjoy reading. Cheers, guys.